Hi, my name is Scott Howard with HYPRO Filtration, and today we will talk about sampling best practices. We have a sample port here that's located upstream of the pressure filter. The reason it's upstream is you want to analyze the reservoir, barrel, or tote contamination levels to determine if you are under your limit for either your system or to add new or used oil to your system for use. Upstream gives us information on the entire reservoir. You can then test downstream for filter element performance or to determine if there's bypass in the housing. But for trend analysis, upstream is preferred. What we will do here is show how to acquire a proper bottle sample. When we open the valve, you want to agitate the valve vigorously several times to get flow inside that valve to knock the contaminant that has built up in the valve out of the valve and out of the tubing and into the bucket prior to pulling a bottle sample. Usually you need an assistant or a third hand to help in the process. If there is no assistant available, what we use is we'll drill a hole into the top of a bucket that's just a little bit smaller than the tube you will use. Then we'll stick the tube into the top of the bucket, face it down, not straight down so the bottle is not under the tube for potential fallout contamination. You want it at an angle. So then when you start filling your bottle, after you've agitated your valve, you create a certain amount of flow rate that is easy to pull a bottle sample, but enough flow to continue good flushing. Once you start flow, you do not stop flow until you're complete with filling your bottle. We will fill the bottle 4 times. The first 3 times, we will fill 1/4 to 1/3 full, recap the bottle, agitate vigorously, and dump into the bucket. You recap the bottle because the cap itself has contamination. So there are 4 components that must be flushed to acquire a good bottle sample for solid contaminant trend analysis. Your hose, your valve, the bottle, your cap. All 4 must be flushed. Do not purse the cap in your lips while you're pulling the sample. Breathing on the cap can add up to 200 parts per million of water to your lab results. Okay? So here is the process. First, we will agitate the valve. Then create an acceptable flow rate that's not too fast to splash, but enough to continue flushing the line. Then we will fill first 3 times, 1/4 to 1/3, flush the bottle and the cap, continue allowing the valve and the hose to continue flushing, and by the 4th time we will expect all 4 components to be clean, so our trend analysis on the lab report from this bottle sample will be believable. Okay, so here we go. Quarter to 1/3, agitate vigorously. When you dump the oil back into the bucket, make sure not to splash so there's no contamination potential. Third time, same thing, recap, agitate, dump, and the 4th time you fill it up to the neck. At this point in time, then cap for the last time, and then shut off flow. Now, you know you have a good sample because the hose, the valve, the bottle, and the cap have been flushed. You have flushed them 3 times and then filled it. Fill it more than 75% of the bottle, but not completely full. You do want an air pocket so that when the lab receives it, or if you do this in-house, you can agitate the contamination that has settled to the bottom. Make sure that when you run the test through the laser counter, the particle count is representative of the entire bottle. Then you can have good, believable trend data for solid particle contamination. Thank you. This is HYPRO Filtration.